Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi. Hey, everyone. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Kelly. Hey, girl. How you doing? Whoop, whoop. Welcome back, everybody. It is day 2. Oh, hey, Sadie. Welcome back. It is day 2 of the Mommy 2.0 Boot Camp. Whoop, whoop. Hey, Rashida. Y'all, yesterday was lit. Was yesterday lit or not? It was lit. Hey, teammate. Hey. Hey, Christina's in the building. Okay, awesome. Y'all, today it's gonna be we kicking it live again today. Okay? I got Christina Johnson's in the building. I got Keisha J coming up. Okay, listen, it's all about how to truly surrender to the process. So before I bring up my guest, let's just go ahead. I hope you guys got out your Mommy 2.0 workbook. Okay? Let's whip it out. Let's go over the prayer real quick, right? Our affirmations. And then we'll bring on the guest, okay? All right, so here we are, day 2. Oh, and this one is just real quick, right? You can say this like, I use this prayer when I'm like super duper stressed out, like in the heat of the moment. If it's like my baby's is crying, I'm late, I'm trying to talk on the phone, I'm trying to send an email, it's like a whole bunch of stuff going on. I would just be like, Jesus, oh Jesus, I surrender myself to you. Take care of everything, right? Just take a deep breath. And then at the beginning of the day, I'm like, Jesus, I die to me and I live for you today and every single day, right? You got to tap in every single day. You got to be like, listen, right? Because the spiritual battle, it's so real. It never stops. The enemy don't sleep. He don't sleep. So you cannot be afraid to call on the name of Jesus, okay? Like I said, in the morning, Jesus, I die to me. I live for you today. And in the heat of the moment, you could just be like, oh, Jesus, I surrender myself to you. Take care of everything, okay? Now, I love these affirmations. You could just say them whenever. Thank you, God. I love you, God. I praise you, God. I trust you, God. I honor you, God. I worship you, God. I adore you, God. I surrender. Like literally just saying the words can make so much of a huge difference, right? And then y'all know I'm big on like scripture. I like to turn a lot of my scriptures into affirmations. So this was a good one for me. I might have an alert set in my phone, and I will just say the same scripture every day. I'll say it no matter what I'm doing. At the same time, I'll let it sit. I'll meditate on it, and then I'll just move on. But once again, oh hey, Michael, oh Bryland's here. Right. So this is 2 Corinthians 5:17. This means that anyone who belongs to Christ has become a new person. The old life is gone and a new life has begun. Right? Like, oh, man, that got me through some really tough days. So before I get into how to shift the atmosphere, let me just, oh, do I sound bad, girl? She said you feel okay. Do I sound like I'm in pain? Girl, I took a whole bunch of NyQuil. I'm like, please. But let me bring on my special guest real quick, right? Because I probably sound crazy. Let me just see. I thought I saw her on here. Christina, or even, is Keisha on yet? Please excuse my voice. I don't know that question. All right, Christina, you coming? I requested her.
Hi.
Hey,
Hi, everybody. Hi,
hey, girl.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you
I'm
doing?
wonderful. As you can see, I'm like multitasking. I'm in the car. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
Girl, you look so pretty. Thank you for doing this.
Oh, no. It's
Right?
an honor.
Yeah,
It's
because so for everyone that doesn't know, um I met Christina at the Cancer Could Never event that we had last week. And when you got on that stage, and just the story that you told, I was just so moved, just by your story and how you just relied on the gratitude. I was just like, oh my God, somebody else knows about this. You know what I'm saying? Like just the power of the gratitude. So I just was in awe, and I know that the Mommy Nation community would just love you, right? So I wanted to bring you on. I want to allow you to introduce yourself. Please tell everybody who you are, what you do, and why you do it, girl.
Hi, everybody. I'm Christina Johnson. Okay, so I'm an interior designer. I've been doing that for well over 20 years. I'm a mother of 3, a grandmother of 5. And you didn't know that, did you?
No.
Yes, I saw one of my daughters on here. Hi, Kayla.
Hey, Kayla.
And so I'm a grandmother of 5. Also, I am a life coach, which is my heart's work. I've been doing it all my life, really, as a young girl. Thank you for welcoming me, you guys. Some people know me from, I was on a show on VH1 called Atlanta Exes. I was on there with Monyetta Shaw, who is Neo's ex, and also Tamika Foster, Raymond, who was married to Usher, Kevin Hart's ex Tori, Cherie Buchanan, who was married to Ray Buchanan. So we did a show on VH1, and that kind of catapulted me doing life coaching professionally. But I also do interior design. So I love to make things beautiful, even people, from the inside out. And just because I've been through so many things, it really helps because people know that they can trust me because I've been through a lot. And at the event, I was talking about my battle with Graves' disease, because I almost died from complications of Graves' disease. And I had 3 surgeries, cut hip to hip, from 2011 to 2013. And faith and gratitude is what got me through. So me really being grateful for my healing before the healing, because that's what faith is about. It's about seeing things that are not as though they were. And so me being able to thank God in advance, I know helped me a lot. And just believing that he was going to keep his word. And he is not man. He doesn't lie. He heals today just like he did from when we read about it in the Bible back in the day. He's still the same God. So I'm amazingly grateful for him. He's brought me through so much. So I utilize my following and my life to help other people, to especially women, because 87% of my following is women. Plus, I've been through domestic violence. I've suffered a lot. And so this is my way of giving back because God blessed me and saved me. So I use my life as, an example really of God's grace and mercy.
Oh, I love that. So can you tell us a little bit about, like you said, you've been through so much. What is it that's able to keep you going when you face another hurdle, when you're facing another challenge, right? You're saying mom, grandma, reality TV, businesses, almost dying. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you get up? I know life is still hitting you because when your responsibility is huge, the challenge and the obstacles are even greater. Right? That's the part we forget. Like, they're not going to stop.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? It's going to keep hitting us. So, like, what do you do then?
You know what? Like, I've learned to encourage myself. I've also learned to place myself in circles or next to people that are encouraging, that are faithful, that are believers. And I just trust God so much. I've been through so much. And you know what I'll do sometimes? I'll think back on the things which is how I opened the speaking engagement that night. I'll think back on all the things that I've been through, whether it was abuse as a child, because I suffered abuse as a child and I saw my mother being abused. And so God was the only mentor I had back then. I didn't have anybody to talk to that I felt like I could trust to talk to. So I leaned on the Most High. And because of all the things that I've been through, and he's shown me over and over again that he never leaves my side, I know that whatever comes up or comes my way, I'm going to get through it because there's nothing he hasn't brought me through. Nothing. Like, absolutely nothing. He's always brought me out, no matter how long the test. Like I said, I had surgery in 2011, 2012. Tumors kept coming back 2013. And I promise you, I just kept my eyes focused on him. My children are my why. My grandchildren are my why. So sometimes, because sometimes I think I may be like, oh, well, I don't know if I should do this, that, and the third. But if I put them before myself and think, hey, you know, this, you'll be able to provide this for them. Or do this, you'll be able to be there for them. Whether it's exercise, eating right, television, you know, because even doing reality TV, I had turned down 8 shows. Although my family was on Cribs, we had done My Super Sweet 16, Exile, music videos. I was used to being on television, but reality was a whole nother ball game. Like, you have to be ready to put your entire life on screen, and you can't fake it. That's the thing about it. People real recognize real. So when you're on television and you faking the funk or you're acting out of character, people know that it's not true to who you are. So I knew, one, if I do it, I'm really going to do it. And 2, I knew that I would only do it if I could be 100% myself. So doing that, you have to have the guts to do that. But I was like, okay, if I could do this, then this is going to help not only my girls, but I feel like everybody's daughters are my daughters. So if I represent myself in a positive light, it gives them something to look forward to, something to look up to, something to identify with. You know what I mean? Because we all don't fight, pull hair, throw bottles, jump on tables. We don't do that, right? In real life, you know what I mean? So that's why I wanted to represent myself and my family in a positive light. So I really just, it's the trust of God that keeps me going. Because I know no matter, like that morning I heard him say, no matter how hard it gets, stand on my promises. It's the same thing. It's like, no matter how hard it gets, he's going to bring you out. And the moment that you give up, you could be right at the cusp, at the cusp of the blessing he's about to give you. But you will never know because you let go. And never let go. When people say that, that's an old school saying, but it's true. I don't let go of his unchanging hand. Because it's never forsaken me. It's never let me down, right? And so doing it and working, I was doing interior design when I was in my 20s, right? So Ludacris was one of my first clients.
Girl, wait a minute. Okay, I'm sorry. Because I know I keep making these faces like I literally had no idea. This was like your resume. I'm so sorry. Like I did, like, wow.
No, I'm so glad that we're getting to know each other so organically, right?
Yeah.
Was my first paid client because I started doing design before I professionally started doing, just to make sure I loved it, right? So I would take my girls to work with me. I would take my kids to work with me. I have 3, right? So the girls are older. I did it till my oldest daughter was 10 before I had my son, right? So it's kind of like I started over. But on their breaks, I would take them to Chris's house with me. They would assist me. They would help me. One, I wanted them to know what mom was doing when she wasn't there, right?
Oh, God, I do that. I took my kids with me, too. I took them with me when I was doing my cleaning job.
Yeah.
You see, I had them there at the event.
Come on.
Girl, my kids is with me.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. Because it teaches them work ethic as well. Like, this is where I am when I'm not at home. Yeah. So, of course, I'm not leaving you or forsaking you. I'm out here grinding for you. But then when you come with me and help me, you know, like, I have to be there on time. Therefore, I got to get up earlier to get y'all ready so that we can be in the car and on our way. Because I feel like if you get there on time, you're late. If you you should be set up for that meeting by 9:45. Or else you're running late. And Chris was one of the, Ludacris taught me that to this day, because I remember I was like, this is how much I make an hour. He was like, well, I will be watching my watch. And one day I pulled up, music blasting. I'm ready to work. Didn't know he was there. Pull up in front of the house. He like this. And I was like, hey. He's like, hey, you get paid too much an hour to be late. One thing about him, you know, I noticed that his work ethic is so crazy. And it taught me to up my game, because a lot of times we just like, oh, well, I work for myself, or I'm an independent contractor, or, you know, I am a entrepreneur, so I work for myself so I can show up when I want to show up. No, although I do own my business, my clients are my customers, you know, they are my employers. So I have to respect that. And not that I didn't, it's just I felt like, oh, I have a little more leeway, you know what I mean? So he was like, no, you got to be on time. So I was teaching my children all of that, because a lot of times I always tell mothers, this is the biggest lesson you can teach your children. The biggest lesson you can teach your children is how to love through the way that you love in your relationships. Let me tell you why. Because kids do what we do, not always what we say. A lot of the times we're telling them what they should do, what they shouldn't do, while we're doing that. It's a contradiction. Children stop trusting us, right?
Oh.
So in order for them to trust you, one, they have to see consistency in you, right? And the next thing is that you have to be a woman of your word. If you say, I'm going to show up at this time, be there on time. If you say don't steal, why is you sticking stuff in your purse? Like, oh no, that's okay, they ain't gonna miss this. No, you're teaching your children it's okay to take what doesn't belong to them, right? So a lot of lessons that I've taught my children, I want to say, came from me just being myself, right?
Yeah.
Because I understood that a girl is going to strive to be like her mother. A boy is going to look for a wife like his mother, right? So if you don't like who you are, honestly, get it together, because your daughter-in-law might be a carbon copy. You know what I mean? And I'm all about doing the work. That's another thing. I'm not perfect.
Yeah,
I'll never be.
my big thing.
I know about it is, if you work hard towards being the best you possibly can, over time, it's going to be what it needs to be. Like, you're going to be a great person, right? So I strive to be the best version of Christina that I can possibly be. I have no desire to be anybody else in this world. After all of the trials, growing up in abuse, seeing abuse, being abused, you know, being in abusive relationships, all of that. I'll take all of that. A lot of times people want what you got, but they don't want the battle you had to go through to get through it. It's like, okay, you don't want those surgeries, almost dying, your back and bones in your back and shoulders showing. Like, that's not what you really want. You want the fruits of the labor, but you don't want the labor. It don't work like that, right? So this is a constant work. I am a constant work in progress. I feel like when we have it all together, we can go be with the Most High.
Girl,
but while
yes. Oh, I love it. There's giving me so much confirmation. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but even in the comments, everybody is like, yes. Like,
Yes. And so I really feel like, you know, we're a constant work in progress. And ladies, I'm going to just say this, men too, if there's men on here, be kind to yourself, right? There is no perfect mom. There is no perfect person in the human. I feel the spirit is perfect. It's all around us. It's within us, right? But it's okay when you mess up, right? And celebrate. I was having this talk this morning, like, celebrate the small victories, right? You know, people are really prideful sometimes, and they're like, oh, well, I mean, I did all right. It's like, they wouldn't be calling you back if you just did all right. You obviously did better than good. Celebrate that.
Yeah.
I'm late, but I'm on time today. Celebrate that. Yourself and be kind to yourself, right? And be mindful of the words that you're speaking. That's why I love what you're doing, because affirmations are so important. Speaking those things that are not as though they were over your life. Speaking the things you desire as if it already exists, and really feeling it. It's one thing to say it, but if you ain't feeling what you saying, you just talking.
Yeah.
Affirmation.
And that's the part. Yeah.
Vibration.
Yeah.
Put the vibration behind your words, or you're just talking. Right? If you're saying, I want to be a New York Times bestselling author, you don't sound like it or feel like it to me.
Right.
But when you look, when you like, I'm a New York Times bestselling author. Oh,
Yes.
Go to sit.
Listen,
I'm already
right. Every morning I wake up and I say I am a loving, world-renowned motivational speaker, teacher, and author. Right? You have to speak it every single day, and then guess what? It's gonna happen.
Period. It's
Absolutely.
And you know what? It's so unfortunate sometimes that people don't believe that our words and the power that we possess is that real, and that energy that real. It is really that real. It's so real that you can speak something and it will come into fruition because you believe it, right? You're asking God for it. You believe that it's possible for you. And then you're open to receive. A lot of people will say it. They'll believe, well, I guess it could happen for me. But then they're not open to receiving.
Yeah.
Open yourself up to receive everything that you're asking him for, and stop believing that you're not enough. It's not true. You are enough. It's like a slap in the face, like you're telling God, oh, you didn't do good enough with me. You didn't make me look a certain way. You didn't make me act a certain way. It's like you're telling him that he made a mistake. We're all uniquely and beautifully made. He didn't make no mistakes with you, right? So really, it's about you just walking it out and believing that what he did in making you is perfect. You're perfect. Yeah. You're perfect, and you need to be perfect in your own, right? So,
amen. Oh, I love that. I love that.
yeah.
Okay, yes, this is wonderful. Let me just see, is Keisha J in the building? Let me bring on my second guest, Keisha, the woman that introduced us, my home girl.
Hey!
Keisha,
yeah, I'm really over here being a mommy for real. Like, I'm Mommy Nation and Mommy 2.0 for real.
How are you, girl? How you doing? How's the baby?
She's not feeling well, but she's sleeping, falling asleep, but she wants to sleep on me. So it's all good. I'm bringing her to empower with me. It's all good.
Amen.
Yes, Christina.
And so, yes, they're friends. They're friends. So real quick, Keisha, tell everybody a little bit about who you are, what you do, and why you do it.
Yes. Well, I am the incredible Empower Maven. Listen, I empower people through my truth, my story, my realness. I do believe God took me through everything that I've been through to be able to be a voice to pour into people, to let them know that, listen, I've been through it all. Like, literally every single thing that a person say that they don't want to get in life. AIDS, cancer, domestic abuse, well, you name it, I've been through it, but I'm still here popping and thriving. So I knew that my brand had to be a brand to empower. And that's why I pegged myself the Empower Maven, because I'm willing to talk and discuss things about myself that other people will not. And through that, I'm hoping that another woman, another man will take from me that if she did this through all of that, I can do the same darn thing.
Girl, and I say it all the time. I feel like you are a walking miracle, right? Because hit them with the timeline. Like, first it was one illness, right?
Yeah.
And then the second illness, you shouldn't have made it through the second one.
Shouldn't have.
I was everybody.
You're not lying. And so I was diagnosed with AIDS at 21, going on 22. It was December 6, 2006. And I was in a crazy relationship, and it was a public relationship where we were at in Houston. And, you know, I had to deal with a lot of, okay, I just went through this situation. I was humiliated. Now I have to deal with the fact that I have to walk in front of people and say that I have AIDS after everything I just went through. So I had to literally affirm to myself that I am bigger than this diagnosis. I am greater than this diagnosis. No matter what they said, he said, she said about me, regardless of what this diagnosis said, I'm still going to be a woman of power. So literally 7 months, probably about 6 months after I was diagnosed, I had my first speaking engagement at a high school, Cashmere High School in Houston, Texas. Wow. And when I saw the whole room shut down and be quiet in silence and say, you got AIDS, you don't look like it. And in that moment, I knew I had work to do. For you. And it was doctors saying in that room, wow, you really look good to have AIDS. And I'm just like, what makes y'all think that just because I look this way, I'm not battling anything? And from that, I just knew I had to do something different. So I worked in the music industry for years, at I would say independent labels. So Slip and Slide, Def Jam, So Def. I worked at these labels, and no, they didn't know about my diagnosis off right, but it was because I wanted to show my work ethic before you judge me off of a disease you're not educated about.
Exactly.
So I took that, twisted that, and said, you know what? No, I want to show artists that don't just be an artist, stand on something. Be a philanthropist as well. So then I started telling my artists that I had the virus, and I say, hey, look at me, but I need you to fight for something too. Your mother passed away from cancer. Okay, go do something for Christmas, and not just on Christmas, but give back to those who need it. And don't just be an artist. Don't just rap. Don't just sing. Do something else.
Come on.
And after I decided to walk away from the music industry in 2016, because the industry is something, my spirit and the woman that I am does not align with the music industry. So I had to step away. And once I did that and started a family, I was diagnosed with cancer, stage 4, anal cancer. Anal cancer turned to rectal cancer and traveled to my colon. And even then, I was in palliative care. I had no idea palliative care is like hospice. I didn't know that. So, I mean, pretty much they were just kind of giving me drugs to stay alive, to keep me calm until I died. But in that hospital room, I was affirming myself, I literally was in that hospital room saying, oh, girl, first of all, I'm too pretty. That's number one. Okay, I'm too pretty to be taken out this way. That's number 1, 2, and 3. And then I was like, cancer could never take me to this point. So I was literally hooked up to morphine, all types of medicine, in excruciating pain on an iPad, writing my book. And I said, God, if I come out on the other side of this, I guarantee you I'm putting my whole everything on go. And that's what I.
Oh my goodness.
Cancer free. Now I'm cancer free.
Come on.
What? Jesus Christ. Hey man, thank you, God.
Listen, and it's from affirming. It's from me speaking life into myself and trusting that when God said He gonna do something, He gonna do it. Yeah. But when He says He's gonna do it, we gotta believe it. Yeah. And once we believe it, we gotta affirm it. Like my good sister Christina said, we gotta really speak life into ourselves. Yeah. Because He's not here in the physical to tell us that. So He gives us His discernment, and He gives us His word for us to speak life into ourselves to keep it pushing.
Exactly. And it's about tapping into. That's what the affirmations do. It allows you to tap into the vested power that is within you, because we all have the same power that raised Jesus from the dead living inside of us. God is omnipresent. He lives within us. So you guys tapping into that, your spirit on your deathbed, being like, nah, man, the power within me is going to rise. And you guys, literally, both of y'all are like walking miracles, just laying in the hospital bed, speaking life. Your words are spells.
Yes, God.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And that's why I wanted to make sure, Christina, I said, the fact that you got off of a plane from Dubai and came, I was elated because I wanted everybody to meet you, because you have been incredible. You've been an incredible sister friend to me for years, meeting you in Atlanta. And I was like, people need to hear you. They need to see you. They need to get some of that power that you speak with, and you're a genuine person, right? It's very hard for people nowadays to just accept that someone's really being genuine with them and receiving it and taking what that person is saying and applying it to their life. So I thank you for being you.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you, honey. I just love you so much. You're such a light. And so I've heard your story various times. It touches my heart every time.
Right.
You're just a powerhouse. And I'm just blessed that God allowed us all, because now I got a new friend.
Yes, that's my girl.
Yeah, but I'm so glad that God allowed us to cross paths, because you're such a gift. You both are. And what you're doing for women, like, that's my calling. I feel like I do design. I love design. It's everything to me, but I try to intertwine it, because even when you're working with people, in their homes, it's so personal. They have to be able to trust you. Everybody has something going on. And it seems like me and my business partner, Felia, always get clients who are dealing with something, you know, anxiety, it's other stuff going on inside the home. So it gives me that open door to still bless. This being able to speak to moms and, you know, people that are on their way to motherhood, and people like me who are empty nesters now, who've already raised their children. We still need to be encouraged.
Yes.
So I thank God for this opportunity.
And thank you, Destiny, Mommy 2.0, and thank you to Mommy Nation, Sanya, for allowing a space for moms, specifically of color, to be able to share their truth without any judgment, but simply to empower and heal. So appreciate you guys.
Yeah, because you know, I have my youngest daughter who's on here, Kayla. Mind me sharing your business, but she is a mother of 4, and she's so outstanding. Like the way that she loves on her children, the way that she, you know, she's so organized. I'm like, and she's always like, if I could just be half the mom, you girl, you've surpassed what for their better. But like the way that she mothers makes me so proud. But it does get heavy. 4 children, that's a lot to handle.
Listen, I'm a mother of 4 myself. Tell your daughter to hit me up.
Yeah, I actually sent a page and was like, you need to follow this page, because it's so times when you're trying to encourage and it's your child. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have to hear a voice that's not the voice you've been hearing for 30 years, you know, 29 years, 25 years, whatever. So I definitely linked her up with you guys because I want her to have somewhere else she can share and also be shared with. You know what I mean? Because it's no joke out here. And sometimes I'll have to be like, now, do you want mom? Because she coming to the rescue, right? You want the life coach? Do you want my advice, or do you just want an ear? Because automatically I'm like, on 10, what we doing? Where we going? Where you need me at? You know what I mean? But sometimes they just need someone to listen to what they're dealing with and going through, because depression is a real thing. Being overwhelmed is a real thing. Feeling like you the only one in the world that's going through it. Like my business partner is younger, right? She's in her early 30s. I'm almost 50. I'll be 50 in a few months. So I'm like,
girl, you lying. You is lying, girl.
no. So for me, sometimes she like, oh, you got it made because, you know, you're an empty nester. But I'm like, but I've done all that you're doing. I've done the crying, the wanting to get on a Greyhound and wave from the back of the bus like I ain't coming back. I've done the I'm about to lose my mind. I've done, you know, all of the things that young moms are going through. I've done that. And I was a kid doing it, you know. So as I was learning, I was trying to keep, but I had so much growing to do. So it's kind of like they come along with so I know that, you know, we all need that encouragement. So I would even challenge everybody on Mommy Nation to reach out to some of the people that you see on Mommy Nation and create relationships, because it's just really good to have people to bounce things off of and come together. So when Mommy Nation has an event, you come, you meet your girl, you know, you meet them in person, because they don't have to live in the same state or country as you, you know, for you to be able to identify with the things that moms are going through, because it's a real thing. We all go through the same thing. And I would just challenge women too, just know that you haven't made any decisions that any other woman hasn't made. A lot of times we think, hey, we did the worst thing in the world, you know, loving someone or taking somebody back or going through certain things and handling it a certain way. You're not the only one. That's why I always say to celebrate your small victories, right? Because sometimes we'll sit in so much guilt. And that's what the adversary loves. He loves an idle mind. He loves a guilt spirit, because he wants to prey on you, because that's what he does. He's a distractor. You know, he loves to steal and kill our joy. He's a joy stealer. And you have to bring yourself back a lot of times. And if it's not encouraging yourself, having a sister friend or somebody that you can lean on and lean into is so important.
Yes.
That's why
Yeah.
it's so important. This Mommy Nation is so important. I just love, love, love that you guys are doing this because it's so needed. And I know that just from having kids with kids, but also being a mom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
my oldest is 32 now. I have one turning 30 in a week. My son, so I have been there, done that, got the t-shirt. I mean, at the end of the day, so I know everything you're going through. Like, even if you have to pop in one of our DMs, don't hesitate to
Absolutely.
out. That's why we're here, because giving up is never an option.
Period.
It's never an option because God has so much that's coming. And could you
Yeah.
imagine, thinking back on your life, had you given up years ago, then you wouldn't have been blessed with so many amazing things. That's just a cycle. That's how life is. But I guarantee you, he has some amazing things for you.
So much.
Yeah. Yeah. And I literally just the other day I was like looking at Carmi and I was just like, wow, like every single entire thing that I went through in my life, if it wouldn't have happened exactly the way that it played out, I wouldn't have, you know what I'm saying, just had that one little blessing. You know, we can look at all of our children like that and just be like, man, everything led me to who I am today, where I am today, what I'm doing today. And just thinking that in itself should excite you. Should be like, you know what? Like there's so much more in store, so much more to come. Um, so I just thank y'all so much for coming on here and really just confirmation for so many women, right? Because you know I'm like the mindset coach for Mommy Nation and stuff, but I know a lot of times, you know, because you guys have been through so much more, you know, so much more wisdom. It's so much confirmation to hear that we're on the right path, you know, and that's why I took to Mommy Nation so hard because we need this.
Yeah.
What they are doing, the vision, the idea, man, we are literally changing lives, you know?
Yes. Thank you. Yeah, this is beautiful. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much. So real quick, ladies, before we leave out, because y'all know I'm big on visioning and manifesting, would each of you talk a little bit about your 2023 vision for your business next year? Like, what is the expansion going to bring? Like, what are you guys hoping for? What are you manifesting? Whoever wants to go first.
Well, I'm manifesting icon, right? Everything for me is legendary, icon. If it's not on icon status, I don't want no parts of it, right? Because I deserve it. I deserve everything that's coming to me. And I want everybody to know on this Mommy Nation Live, you need to speak that. Everything that's amazing that's in store for me, I deserve it. Because that will block our blessings too. And what's for us is we really sit in this space of feeling like we don't deserve it. You know, it may come off cocky to some people how I speak about myself, but I know what I've been through and I know what God brought me through. And I deserve every single piece of the amazing, legendary ism that is 2023, right? So that to answer your question, an icon is here.
Okay. Hey, come on.
Period.
Oh, I love that so much. I love it. Ooh, take back everything the devil stole or tried to steal.
He tried. You want what?
That's power. The only power he has is the power that we relinquish to him. Don't give your power away, ladies. That's what I want to say. Don't give your power away. For me, 2023, I'm launching new businesses. So the biggest thing that's happening is I'm turning 50 and I'm releasing my book finally. I've been working on this book, believe it or not, for almost 20 years. And finally, I'm putting it out. Yeah, I had so much fear. And fear is stifling, you guys. A lot of times, like, well, who wants to read about it? You know, about life and but if it can bless some, then the counter, right? So my book is coming out. Also, I'm starting a accessory line. It's called Sorry. So I love like I wear bangles, dope necklaces, I things that reflect goddess accessories. So that's launched the beginning I have a workbook already and gratitude journal. Follow me. You can click on my link tree and get the workbook and the journal. I also sell these beautiful mustard seed necklaces because what I learned, I've come to understand, like I said for years, is that all it takes is a little bit of faith, right? And you can move mountains of illness, mountains of worry, mountains of stress out of your way if you just believe that you have that thing. So the mustard seed necklaces, I'm looking to just continue everything to just grow because I do so many things. I'm just looking for God to everything that I touch. And in being blessed, I'm able to bless others. I'm blessed to be a blessing. And I ask for God to just continue to utilize me in that way.
Yeah. Amen.
And also to intercept from Christina, speaking at the last event, I'm actually getting 2 necklaces from Christina to give to 2 moms in Mommy Nation.
Okay, we got some giveaways.
Yes, I'm getting 2 necklaces. I've already talked about it with Christina. I'm going to get the necklaces and give them to 2 moms, whoever that may be. Destiny, that'll be up to you, but we can give them to 2 moms.
We can pick right now. Let's have a quick giveaway right here on the line. Real quick, what's a good question we can ask them? I know I just want to make y'all. I'm sorry.
Ask them something that one of us touched on to see who really was who got the message, because that's the biggest thing when you share. You want to believe that people really, really hear you and it resonates.
Yeah. Well, maybe one of the questions can be, what disease was Christina battling with? Does anybody know the name?
Oh, that's a good one.
I believe somebody's going to get it.
Come on.
Yeah.
I believe someone's going to get it. And I think I know who's going to get it because she really been paying attention a lot in here.
The power of positive thinking and affirmation.
Yes, I was thinking, there we go. Sadani said grave disease. There we go. She caught it first.
Hey. Go ahead, girl. All right. And so now, who can tell us what disease did Keisha battle? Well,
the first disease. I think everybody know that one. So that's the first one. The first disease. They go. You know what? They said ain't no cancer. Okay, Royalty 242 said AIDS. There we go, girl. There we go. So Royalty 242, you got it first, and that is correct. The AIDS virus.
Okay, cool. So girl, make sure you DM us and stuff.
Yes. Anybody who won, please DM us. And you know what? I would like to do more of these giveaways this week.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, you guys are welcome to come back. I'm doing this all week. I'm just doing it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And so
let's do another one Friday. And Christina, I'll get 3 mustard seeds from you, and then we can give away something else too. I'll figure it out.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, ladies, this has been.
I think I'll give away a gratitude journal workbook. So yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So let's do that. Let's give away the journal Friday. Let's do that.
I want a gratitude journal.
Okay.
No, I'm just I'm about to buy one. But anyways, y'all, this has been amazing. Thank y'all so much. I really, really appreciate it, Christina. I'm so thankful, girl. I love you to death. Keisha, so much in the works for us. We got our podcast coming. Y'all look out. We have our Wealth Summit is coming, and that's gonna be in January. Christina, you might want to come out.
Okay,
that's gonna be January 19th. Yeah, it'll be.
Yes, we'll keep you posted. Thank you, Christina, for doing this at the last minute. I love you to pieces.
Oh, you're welcome. I love you guys. Bye, everybody. Thanks so much for listening.
Bye, Mommy.
Bye.
Thank you, Sarah.
Hey, Sarah girl. Bye.
Bye.